had those days at work when we just wanted to.
I hate this job. I hate this goddamn job and I don't need it.
Even the biggest A-listers have bad days on the job, and since they naturally tend to err on the more dramatic side already, they can go from 0 to 100 real quick if something or someone messes with their creative process. So sit back and take a little ride down Meltdown memory lane with us as we recall some of the most epic and outrageous rants and on-set brawls to happen in Hollywood. In December of 2020, while on the set of Mission Impossible 7, actor Tom Cruise appears to have blown up at crew members who were allegedly violating the production's strict COVID-19 social distancing rules.
We are the gold standard. You're back there in Hollywood making movies right now because of us. No apologies. You can tell it to the people that are losing their homes because our industry is shut down. It's not going to put food on their table or pay for their college education. That's what I sleep with every night. In the future of this industry. So I'm sorry, I'm beyond your apologies. I have told you, and now I want it. And if you don't do it, you're out!
The Sun published the leaked recording, which has been confirmed authentic by two sources close to the film, according to the New York Times. You can hear the actor going off on a couple of staffers he thought weren't taking the strict COVID-19 guidelines seriously, and the internet, not to mention other stars, were here for it. Well, at least some of them were. And those who believe Tom, who both stars in and produces the popular Mission Impossible franchise, was warranted in his outrage, though he wasn't only expressing the need for safety during what was a sudden uptick of a new strain of COVID in the UK, but the general frustration everyone in Hollywood was feeling about all the setbacks caused by the pandemic. Production on the film was put on pause while shooting in Venice in February 2020 as Italy was suddenly hit by the coronavirus. Then in September, when numbers had gone down, they resumed production, moving between Italy, Norway, and the UK. But then they had to shut down production again in October after 12 crew members tested positive for the virus in Italy, according to Variety. According to multiple sources, around 5 crew members walked off the set after his rant. After a challenging production, Mission Impossible 7 is set to release in November 2021.
The countdown is not helping.
But next, let's visit the on-set outburst that became more memorable than the movie itself.
What don't you understand?
I was looking at the light.
Sake, man, you're amateur. You don't understand what it's like working with actors. You are trashing my scene!
Actor Christian Bale is known for transforming himself physically for roles, and thanks to this leaked recording from the set of Terminator Salvation, first published by TMZ, he doesn't seem like the easiest person to work with. At least not if you're a director of photography distracting him while he's trying to do a scene.
This up my plan. This is bullshit. Okay.
In February 2009, this audio recording of an enraged Christian Bale on set, clearly taken without his knowledge, was leaked to the public. The recording was taken while filming in New Mexico in July 2008, and though there was no video, Bale clearly loses it on someone for getting in his eye line during a scene. That someone was the film's cinematographer, Shane Hurlbut, who had walked onto set to check a light and distracted Bale. In the recording, Shane apologizes repeatedly, and Christian continues to go off for nearly 4 minutes. And as we mentioned, Bale is a serious actor, and apparently this DP was taking him out of the character and scene that he was supposed to be doing. Lucky for Christian, it didn't seem to hurt his career much. The actor apologized publicly for the outburst and said that he and Shane made up, though the two have never been on a film together since.
Oh, you know what? There's really nothing I can say about that I haven't said already. And you know, I have never tried to make any excuses for it. It was unacceptable, and I take it, you know, it's my fault. That's it.
And when the controversy of his Terminator Salvation meltdown settled down, the actor went on to garner dozens of nominations for his roles in critically acclaimed films like 2011's The Fighter, for which he won an Oscar, Golden Globe, and SAG Award for Best Supporting Actor. One thing's for sure, don't get in his eye line unless you want an earful. Well, if you thought Christian Bale had a temper on set, then brace yourself for this next repeat offender, the notorious temperamental David O. Russell. The director of a bunch of award-winning films, a couple of which starred Bale, The Fighter, and American Hustle, has a reputation in Hollywood for being, well, difficult to put it lightly. During production of his 1999 war film, Three Kings, he got into an actual brawl with star George Clooney, according to The Hollywood Reporter. That's right, America's sweetheart and forever Silver Fox got into a fight. Though there's no recording or footage of the altercation, producer Charles Roven told the publication that the fight started when George spotted David yelling at an extra during a climactic scene. George ran over to confront the director, and then all hell broke loose. And George comes running over and goes, "I told you, if you're gonna pick on somebody, pick on me." And David goes, "Why don't you just remember your lines for once?" And boom. Both George and David confirmed the fight happened in multiple interviews, while each claimed that the other person attacked first. In the November 2004 issue of Premiere magazine, and 5 years after the tussle, George claimed that the director headbutted him, which forced him to put the director in a headlock. David denied ever attacking him first, but either way, just imagine the scene. A huge movie set with helicopters and explosions going off, then George Clooney and a director just going at it. Someone should have probably called HR. And this isn't the only time David O. Russell has actually been known to totally flip out. During the production of 2004's I Heart Huckabees, David berated actress Lily Tomlin and even threw things at her while storming off set, as seen in a leaked video that went viral on YouTube. While the director hasn't commented, Lily herself said that there were no hard feelings. She told The Hollywood Reporter in 2015 that she and David made up in just a few hours after the dramatic scene. While filming 2013's American Hustle, the director made actress Amy Adams cry a lot. She told GQ in 2016 that David would talk and shout through every scene, screaming instructions at people while they worked. She added that she was devastated on set most days and wouldn't want to work with the director at least anytime soon. In a 2015 interview with The Guardian, David admitted that he wasn't perfect. He reflected on dark moments throughout his life, which not only saw professional struggles, but also a divorce, realizing his son had multiple disorders, and himself suffering from a syndrome which can happen to anybody, especially writers and directors. It's called head up your ass. When the New York Times asked David about his notorious reputation of being difficult to work with, David said, "Just take a look at all the actors that he's worked with. Lily Tomlin and I love each other, and we would work together tomorrow. George Clooney and I had a friendly rapport last year, but the point is, much ado was made about things long past." And though the critically acclaimed director hasn't made a movie since Joy in 2015, he's currently in pre-production on 2 high-profile films, which star a number of A-listers, including Margot Robbie, Rami Malek, Robert De Niro, and wait for it, Christian Bale. We hope everyone keeps their cool. Musical artists can also hit the roof, well, in this case, a window. Chris Brown gave more than a musical performance when he appeared on Good Morning America in 2011. After performing on stage to promote his new album, Fame, he sat down with host Robin Roberts, and then things got slightly awkward when she asked about his ex, Rihanna.
Recently, the restraining order against you that Rihanna had issued has been relaxed. You all seen each other, been around each other?
I mean, not really. It's not really a big deal to me now as far as that situation. I think I'm past that in my life.
Even the judge, though, afterwards said that you had served your time as far as the community service and that, and moving on. But have you been able to, how have you been able to
I've been focusing on this album, I think this album is what, I want people to hear and want people to really get into.
At the time, Chris was serving 5 years of probation after being convicted of felony assault against Rihanna. Understandably, this was a touchy subject, and Chris was not happy about it. After the interview ended, the singer went back to his dressing room and had a total meltdown, completely trashing the place. Chris even smashed a window with a chair, sending shattered glass down onto the street below. By the time the trashed dressing room and smashed window were discovered by staff, Chris had already left. But paparazzi photos showed the singer shirtless outside ABC's Times Square studio. Brown headed to an art gallery after his dressing room outburst and tweeted to his followers that he was so over people bringing up his past. The next morning, Robin told the GMA audience, "I wish him the absolute best. We extended the invitation to him to come back and sure hope he takes us up on it because I'd sure love to have another chat with him." Chris soon apologized for his behavior on BET's 106 in Park.
We have the latest from singer Chris Brown. He spoke out for the first time since I interviewed him Tuesday morning in the backstage blow-up that followed. Brown apologized and offered his version of what happened and why.
Yesterday, first and foremost, I want to apologize to anybody who was startled in the office, anybody who was offended or really looked and disappointed at my actions, because I was disappointed in the way I acted. And a lot of people don't know what went down. When I do interviews, we always send out like a talking point sheet.
As for those talking points, ABC News issued this statement. Chris Brown was invited on Good Morning America to perform and to be interviewed. There were no talking points offered.
And unfortunately, this wouldn't be the only or last incident in Chris Brown's life involving his temper. The last decade since his Good Morning America meltdown has been dotted with several scandals along the way. Hollywood for too long has been tolerant of on-set tantrums and questionable behavior. Whether or not you believe any are warranted, we hope industry professionals professionals can be just that, professional, and be held accountable for their actions and how they treat others. After all, you never know who might be recording.